Gotta keep at it, right? Perseverance is the name of the game. Let's hope the sound is working now again. So we're testing the sound, right? I mean, I know notification is going out, but just ignore it until we start the show, because we want to make sure that we get things right. Okay, we're ready. We're ready. Now finally we got it. So I'll get off and no, let's continue. Let's continue. So what's been going on all evening from 6 o'clock? I've been playing around with the sound and trying to get the ambience right. We have about 7 channels going, and I had to keep adjusting all the volumes and stuff, because previous videos the sound was kind of getting distorted. Some of the videos, in the middle of the video, it would get distorted, or you would hear some echo and stuff like that. So I was trying to fix it today, and instead I messed up the whole sound system. So we've been, for the past hour, going through it and getting it right. I think it's right now. Mano and Sharoz and Penny, who've been with me fixing this thing, thank you so much. Just make sure, send me a quick message and let me know if it's fine now with the background music and my voice, right? So today's going to be a short show, because what time is it? It's already 7:15. Okay, let me see. I got a message saying most likely. If it's okay, great, it's good. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You guys were patient with me. But here's the thing. When we go through life, stuff happens, right? Stuff happens. You go through disappointment. I know people who watch us, Penny in New York included, and my sister in St. Kitts, Simone, and everybody who's watching, they get notifications, and this live is coming on now. And now it's daily, so people get used to it. And then boom, we have technical issues, right? Or I go mess up something playing with the buttons and the software and everything, right? And the mixer and all that, you know. And it's easy for us to get upset, because I know audience is waiting, people are waiting, and it's easy to get upset and say, oh, why aren't things working? We have some days are bad days. I'm not saying today is a bad day. Today's a beautiful day, but sometimes things don't work. How do we approach it, right? Like I had for an hour, let me tell you something, and this video I'm going to record it and keep it. For an hour, I was trying to fix the audio on this live, right? Not fix the audio was okay, but I messed it up when I was trying to get it back to how it was before, get all the channels lined up and equalized and everything, right? And it wasn't happening. It took an hour for us to get rid of, there was some background sound, and then the audio on my voice went low, and then the music was too high. Eventually we got it right. But my point is, when upsets happen in life, there are two things, and one show I should deal with this. When upsets, this is life coaching, right? When upsets happen, or breakdowns, that's what we call them, right? Things happen in life when we're disappointed, when expectations are not met, when the road doesn't go smoothly, there's some obstacle there. We call it a breakdown in life coaching. It's called a breakdown in life, right? Something happens. It's like a car breaking down. Literally, it's life breaking down in that moment. And then, of course, it's an upset. You get upset, but not you getting upset. Life is upset because things didn't go smoothly. And here is a key thing with the corporate life. I want to use this as a lesson, because I should have left all the videos. I should have done that. I deleted those videos off Facebook, and they're still on YouTube, I think. I leave them on YouTube. Every single bad 2-second, 2-minute video that showed our sound wasn't working and I was messing around with the settings, I leave them to show that when people watch this video, they would see that upsets happen, breakdowns happen. We live in a world that this is a human society, right? Things happen. How do you react to it? Remember, somebody said it's not what happens to you in life, it's how you react to what happens to you in life. And so here we had a breakdown, we had an upset, we had the life, which is our reputation, which is our credibility, which is our connection with the people who regularly tune into us. People would say, oh, this thing is taking up my time and I don't have time, when they walk away, right? So things can happen like that, but how do you react to it? To upsetting people, to upsetting life, to having a breakdown in life, how do you react? You react in a way that says, all that's happening is that things aren't working in the moment. But we're not gonna allow emotions or overthinking or expectations to get in the way. We're gonna do what we need to do to fix stuff, to fix what's broken, right? To repair it, to realign ourselves again, and go forward without emotional trauma. So you have a breakdown, you work towards a breakthrough. Breakdown, breakthrough. You have an upset, you solve the upset. What is the upset is caused by a problem? What is the solution? And you keep going, and you do it in an authentic way, in a real way. So let people know. Don't be scared of people. Don't be fearful. Don't be. If you look like a fool and you look amateurish and you look however you look in life, is not important. We don't go about keeping up appearances. We be real with people and say, you know what, our sound system needed some tweaking. I tried to tweak it, and I messed up some of the volumes on the channels, and we had to spend an hour figuring out how to get it back to how it was before, which thankfully it is now. But you see what I did? I turned the whole situation into a lesson for myself and also for the life. A life coaching lesson, right? Which is when things break down, or when life breaks down, when there's an upset, when there's something disappointing happen, what you do is, instead of freaking out, you work towards a breakthrough. You work towards a solution. You work towards a peaceful resolution, right? And for those who were there with me, man, Owen Sharos and Penny, especially, and Simone as well, whoever's watching and saw all that, and even when you watch this YouTube video again, go back to those 1 minute, 2 minute video before this. There were like 4 or 5 of them or more, showing how we were trying to play with the sound and it didn't work. But we stuck with it, we persevered, and here we are, right? And guys, let me know if the sound is good now. Like, send me a message, Penny and Manu and Sharos and stuff. And let's move on with the show. So today's show is going to be short because it's already nearing 7:30, which is fine. It wasn't going to be a long show anyway because today's Thanksgiving in America. Not that we have anything to do with Thanksgiving in America. The Canadian Thanksgiving was a month ago. But whoever is celebrating in America, happy Thanksgiving. I have a bunch of family in New York and Georgia and Florida, and my daughter lives in Florida. So happy Thanksgiving to the Americans. It's a nice Thanksgiving in America with Biden's social program and his infrastructure program. $3 trillion he's pouring into the economy. It's a fantastic progressive agenda. However, whatever you're feeling on politics, whether you're conservative or liberal, it's a very progressive agenda, which would do a lot for America, right? Especially in this COVID times. Okay, so happy Thanksgiving. Move on from there. We got over our breakdown. Excuse me, I'm coughing. I need water again. We got over our upset. We move on. Life is fun. All the world is a stage, and we are actors, players on that stage. That's what we are, and we play. You play with life. Whatever goes on, life throws mud at you. You take it and make it a ball, and you play baseball or cricket or whatever ball game you play. Life is fun. And nothing in life should upset us, no matter what is going on. I'm telling you, even, and I say this from my heart, this is the qualped life. The intentionality of how you live, right? You set out with an intention that I'm always going to be in peace, I'm always going to be in joy, I'm going to, in the moment, decide, no matter what is going on around me, no matter what circumstances are happening, no matter what upset comes, no matter what breakdown comes, no matter what problem shows up, I'm going to always be in joy, always be in peace, always be in love to people and myself, always be kind, always be good, always be gentle, always be long-suffering even, right? Go through what you have to go through with patience and perseverance, right? And always remain faithful to your vision, to your message of that you tell you the world you're living for, right? Always be faithful to that, to who you are, and long-suffering, and also self-control. People who lose it, people who freak out, they lose self-control. So a simple thing like, I might be freaking out and say, oh, the people who are watching us going to think we don't know what we're doing. And I actually get messages like that from people on Facebook. A couple of people who sent me messages and say, what is going on in the studio, your sound is always off, or lighting or something, you need to get your act together, which is true. But remember, this is a new thing, right? And we're working on it, and we're learning the technology, and we're rolling this out as a big thing in 2022, which is what I want to talk about on the show, what 2022 is all about, given COVID and the pandemic and everything. But I'm ranting and I'm getting on about the fact that you persevere, you always be patient, you exercise self-control, don't get upset, don't let emotional toxicity take hold of your hormones and the chemicals in your body. Don't upset your biology. It's not worth the time you're gonna, like somebody says, the time you're gonna take to worry and stress and be anxious. Take that same time to exercise faith and to believe instead of disbelieve, instead of doubting, right? You live a noble life and practice the positive values, right? You practice them, you walk in them. You say, I'm always going to be at peace no matter what happens in my life. And so I'm going to say this quickly. Even people who are homeless, even if I'm homeless, and I tell you this because I'm living a quality life, even if I'm poor as a church mouse, what I have or I don't have, the being part of me is what is important, not having and not even doing. Whether I wake up and accomplish my goals today is not an issue. That has nothing to do with life. What has to do with life is how are you being in the moment. When somebody encounters you, what kind of spirit is coming out of you? Is it joy? Is it peace? Is it, the atmosphere around you, the aura around you? Is it something that people want to enjoy, even whatever you're going through in life? And I'm going to tell you this. We are expanding our business, the Qualified Life Corporation. There are 4 companies, right? Qualified Life Corporation, Future Stars Media Enterprise, Sills Homes, which is a smart home company, and Millionaire Mindset Magazine, which is Perisals Media. And we're expanding this whole operation. And so we need to raise the money. We need to raise a lot of money to do that. We need to expand our equipment, a whole bunch more cameras and stuff, and sound equipment and all that. And we need to learn the technical side, because that's an important thing. And we need to hire more staff. We need to get staff in to develop our 12. We have 12 digital properties. We need staff in to develop all that. And that's a 2022 goal, January 2022 goal. So it's a tremendous amount of work and planning and mapping out the blueprint and everything. And I can't afford to play small. If the sound system is messed up in a moment, I can't get upset. I can't break down because everything collapses, right? But that's not the issue. The issue is we're walking our walk, our talk. Whatever we say about a qualified life, we live it. We live it. We say, don't get into expectations like we did a whole show on this, or be disappointed, or when breakdowns happen and upsets happen, don't let it get to you. Don't let bad emotions become a part of you. But anyway, I keep going on about this because that's what happened with our show. Now it's 7:30. So let me get on with what the show today is supposed to be about, which actually is linked to the same topic of when breakdowns happen. Let me message. I don't make sure. But the sound sounds good on my end, but let me just make sure. Yeah, sorry about that. So today's show is linked to the fact that I was playing around with the sound, it didn't work, there was an upset, there was a breakdown, but we deal with it. You react in a way that is proactive and positive and moving forward, right? Instead of collapsing or freaking out. Today's show I want to talk about 2022. So yesterday we talked about COVID and the context of the world and what's going on with COVID. Let's talk about 2022, which is just in a couple more days in this month, a few more days, and then December comes around, and then Christmas, and boom, we're in 2022. Can you imagine? The world is now in 2022. Time is moving so fast. It's rushing. The future is rushing towards us. And a lot of people, I know this is early to talk about it, but I want us to talk about it now, just to, in case when you're ready to make resolutions. If you're watching this video, or if you watch it before you make resolution in January or at the end of December, that this would help awakening, some consciousness, some awareness of what kind of resolution we should, because the resolutions for New Year's have been a fad and a trend for a very, very long time. And I know it's early to talk about this, but I think for me as well, my resolution every year is to it's my life plan, right? I will go on the life plan and see what we can get fast track on all those things. I have a written life plan, and we encourage everybody in the Qualped Life to do that. So in January, we're going to be embarking on a new life. That's where the show is going. We're a new year, a new future, and a lot of people approach it with this amazing thing to say, oh, I'm going to have new resolutions. Of course, a lot of us don't keep up those resolutions. By February, they're gone through the window, right? We don't even remember them. Some people write it down and they even lose the paper that they wrote it on. But some people carry through with their resolutions, of course, and do good in life. But for us, what the resolution represents, it's a symbol of, is that everybody starts the new year with this thing that a new future is opening up. A new start is going to happen, right? And that's what we want to talk about today. So the Qualped Life, on our screen, if you look at the screen, you see 4 bullet points. One of it says the designed life, altering our future, the designed life. And that's what we want to be doing in 2022. So what we're setting out as a company, and the last quarter of 2021, so October, November, December, we've been focusing on developing this live streaming talk show, the Qualped Life, as a daily conversation with the world. And I know we don't have a huge audience right now because we've been developing the platform and ironing out things and tweaking things, making sure everything works, like what happened today. But we have the videos recorded, right? Like I always say, it's on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, Periscope, and all over the place, and our website as well. So FutureStarsMediaEnterprise.com. And so by January we'll have like 60, 70, definitely more than 50 videos, which is a whole bunch of content talking, having a conversation with the world on the Qualped Life. So what is the Qualped Life we're setting out in 2022 to redesign? We invented something, and this is what I want to talk about today. We created and designed this lifestyle, which is called the Qualped Life, right? And the Qualped Life is all about designing the future, altering our future. And that's what we want to contribute to you in 2022. Here's what we want to do in 2022. We're doing it for ourselves from now, because we're lining up in this quarter. The video, this live stream videos will be out there, and we will eventually have it broadcast everywhere, like all over the internet, because when we launch out and go big. And of course, in January 2022, we're going to expand on this live streaming talk show operation, and also our magazine and all the other things we do, our ebooks and sings books and all those things. What we are doing, you know what we are doing in 2022, and this is what we're setting out for you as well, who's going to come on board with us. We are redesigning our life. We are reinventing our life. We are recreating our life for 2022. You get that? We're reinventing who we are. So who we were in 2020 and 2019 and 2018 before COVID is not the same people we're going to be in 2022. We are reinventing ourselves. And that's what I'm going to say to you today. Today's video is very short, and this is the topic I'm dealing with. We want, in 2022, for you, if you believe in us and you come on board with us, to reinvent your life. For you to recreate who you are. For you to not only reinvent your life, but reinvent who you are. Because that's what we're doing. So if you, before October, when we started this daily live broadcast, the Qualped Life show, we didn't have the show going, but we had performers like Spider Jones, an amazing guy, and some singers and stuff, doing sporadic shows, right? Maybe twice a month, I think, or something. Now we've gone daily. So from October, November, and next month in December, we've decided to take the last quarter of 2021 and reinvent who we are. So we are fundamentally a publishing company, right? We're a book company. We're concerned about and setting out to make a difference in the future of the book. What the book looks like, what purpose it serves, how it incorporates into human life. That's our goal. We're a publishing company, and we're all about books, which is now digital property, right? But we decided after COVID happened, we had this print magazine, Millionaire Mindset, and the printery closed, and we couldn't print. Literally, they said to us, the government closed us down, all businesses, nobody could work and print the magazine. And so everything went digital, you know that, right? People started working from home, Zoom became this big thing, everybody went digital. And we started rethinking, what are we going to do? We're a publishing company, we're dependent on print a lot. Of course, we were moving digitally as well, but you know, we were thinking books and magazines and stuff, the print part would be a big aspect of the company. We had to reinvent ourselves in the middle of COVID, and we didn't panic when the breakdown happened in society, when the upset happened, like happened today with the show and our technical side. I myself, but also the company, we didn't panic. We didn't look at the breakdown and say, oh, what is the future going to be? We're so confused and we're going to go protest against the government. No, we reinvented who we are. We recreated who we are in the middle of the pandemic. And so this quarter, as the pandemic eased up in Canada, we launched this daily live show as a kind of, you can look at it as our face, the face that we're presenting to the public. And behind this face is a book company that is reinventing what the book is. Okay, so I say all that. The point I'm really getting at is that in 2022, we have designed a program. We have designed the entire platform, which is the Qualped platform, which we call the Qualped Life, for you to reinvent, to recreate, and to redesign who you are post-COVID. Okay? Now, that might sound crazy. To a lot of people, it would sound crazy. Why do I need to reinvent myself? Why do I need to redesign myself? Why do I need to recreate who I am? What is that? What does that even mean? I'm already created. I'm already designed by God. You know, a lot of people would say this. I'm already invented. How can I reinvent myself? We mightn't get into the details of that on the show, how you do this, because that's our business trade secret. How you do it, we tell you what, we tell you the why, we tell you the when, we tell you everything. But we're not going to tell you the how, because the how is our business model, right? So when you come on board, we show you how. We walk you through the steps of how you go about reinventing yourself, recreating yourself, and redesigning who you are to the world, right? And we talked on a show earlier this week, yes it was earlier this week, about message and media and money, how these things are changing post-COVID. This show, I want to emphasize to everybody who's listening and the people who will listen in the future, that our goal in 2022, and the reason I'm saying this is, listen, when you have a goal, and not every goal, some of it you got to keep in the background because, you know, that's sensible. But when you really have a goal that you're setting out to achieve, just the goal, not how you're doing it and all those things, declare it. Because also we did a show before talking about the life of declaration rather than, living a life of conclusions, coming up with conclusions and judgments and all expectations and all those things. You don't live like that. You live a life like the United States does, literally. I mean, that's going to sound silly, but live like the United States. The United States came into being, and all countries in the world, right? All the independent countries that came out of the British Empire, for example, they declared their independence, and America did this. America was founded on a document which is called, we did this in a show before, the Declaration of Independence of the United States of America. Same thing we do in life. We declare, we make a declaration. And so our declaration now is that for 2022, having set up a platform with this live streaming in the last quarter of 2021, that's our business strategy. For 2022, we want to work with you and anybody else who will come on board with us to redesign your life, to recreate who you are, and to reinvent the purpose for which you live. Here is why. In 2022, we're going to start see a different world show up. We're going to see a reinvented world. We're going to see a recreated world. Not recreated like in Genesis in the Bible when it says in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a reshaping a reforming of how the social structure on the earth, how human society functions. After COVID, after COP26, after the 19 Sustainable Development Goals, check yesterday's show to hear details about that. After the Great Reset, 2022 is going to look very, very different towards the end of the year and into 2023, much less 2025. And we don't want to be left back, right? We don't want us or our people to. Let me see if I got a message here. Okay, great. That's good. Thank you, Mano. Appreciate it. I hope Penny's watching. Penny is still there, and Sharoz, Malcolm, you guys are still watching. I love doing this. I'm so shy that I don't even want people to read my books. I've been sharing my pages from my novel, Nightmares of Knowledge, I digress again, on Instagram and Facebook, and some people have been reading it very kindly, very nicely, and they have kind comments and stuff to me. And I'm so shy doing that. You have no idea. I don't want people to read my writing, not in my presence anyway. I'm doing this live, but you know what? I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying it because it's a kind of giving back what we've been gifted with. Like, I believe I've been gifted with this gift of waking up every morning and picking up these big books like Rene Girard's book or even Carl Ridley's Tragedy and Hope, and all the big novels, of course, Dostoevsky and James Joyce and Proust and all those guys. And that gift has been given to me to be a reader. I remember early in my teen years, I used to read. I read the entire series of Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew and Famous Five and Louis L'Amour. I don't know if you know those authors, but and those books. But I read the entire series of those things. I used to go to the library and borrow them and sometimes sit in the library and read. And by my later teens, I was into deep literature. T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland. I remember sitting in the public library and reading that thing for days. I would go every day and read it and stuff. So I've been gifted with this reading and writing and seeing life from a different perspective, and it's a joy to give it back. So come on the show and self-express, right? I really self-express on the show, which surprises me. Anyway, in 2022 we have that goal. Now that we've set up, which is already happened, the platform for this, the Qualped Live, through this live stream, which is going out on social media and on our website. In 2022, what we're setting out to do is to get a core group of people. So a core group of very ambitious, very hungry, very driven, gifted, genius kind of people, creative people, originators, but young people mostly. People who are young, people who are going to change the world in their generation. We want to mentor those people and coach them. And how do we do that? We completely reinvent their life and recreate who they are, their purpose, why they're living, and redesign their lifestyle. Now, you might say to me, this guy is crazy, this guy is nuts. What is he talking about, right? Could he do this? Well, maybe not, but I believe I could do it, and that's important. What I believe is important. And even if we have one person, we're aiming for 1,000 people. The core group would be 10, but it goes to we talked about this before. What is your tribe? Your tribe is your 100 to 1,000 people from a global audience. But the core 10 that we want to develop, very early next year, we start working with them. And with you guys, whoever comes on board, with the existing shareholders and people that I have right now, we are going to redesign how life looks for you and for me. And we're going to reinvent who you are and who I am. It's a constant process, right? It's a state of becoming. You don't say I've arrived, because life, you only arrive when you reach the grave, right? We are always in a state of becomingness, if I may use that word. And we want to design a lifestyle which is the Qualped life in a way that 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, guess what? We're the ones leading the future. We're the ones who prepare for the future. We're the ones who are going to walk into the metaverse and all the new things that are coming, the cryptocurrency world and NFT, especially NFT, and really benefit from that. I want to have a cadre of ambitious people. We set out for big goals, not small goals. And remember, it's not about, you don't anxiously rush towards your goals, right? You don't live a life like that. You set an intention and you live day to day in that intention, in that way of being, that's where the joy of life is. And whatever happens, whatever upset happens, whatever breakdown happens, you work out a breakthrough with creativity, with imagination, and you tackle life with this beauty, you know. No matter what is going on, we live in a world that people are concerned with these things. My financial situation, because I can't buy the things I want, I can't pay my bills. How people look at me, credibility, reputation. People are gonna hate me, people are gonna criticize me, so we look at people keeping up appearances, or we look at financial stuff and material stuff. I don't have this, I don't have that, so I'm upset if I don't get a brand new iPad or iPhone X or whatever it is. Or we get upset because people don't approve of us. None of that matters. None of it matters. Absolutely none of it matters. No matter what life you're living in, no matter what state you're in, no matter what status you're in right now, you could be without food, you could be homeless, you could be going through a grieving process, you could be sick in bed with COVID or with some other illness. Whatever you're going through, all that matters is what's in here, what's in your heart, what's in your soul, what's in your spirit. And that's where we play. We play with you through your life so that whatever happens, you know, there's this saying, there is a, I don't know if it's a joke or a saying or whatever. I can't tell jokes. I'm not a funny guy, so I would say it as a joke. But there was an animal, a donkey I think, in a pit. And there's this story, right? And it's in the pit, and it can't get out because it's a well. It fell into a well, and it's like deep, right? But the donkey was smart, which that story is funny if the donkey is smart. The donkeys are not smart. And the donkey decided to start digging the dirt from the side of where he's standing, right? Or she. It could be a female donkey too. Digging the hole. And as the dirt fell to the ground, the donkey would climb on top of it. And that's how the donkey got out of the pit, because it would dig from the side and fill up the bottom, and it would start rising as it digs more, and you know it built. Eventually it covered the hole, the well, right, and it was able to get out. So when something happens, you creatively attack it. You creatively walk through this world. Too many people in our world go through anxiety and look at life and say, oh, this is going wrong, or this happened to me and that's what it means, and therefore I'm not good enough or something, or we gotta please people, or we don't have fancy car that my neighbor has, or I don't have the latest phone, or my clothes are rags, or something like that, right? And we get upset by these things. No, that's not important. What is important is what's in our heart. And that's what we're pledging to you by making this public declaration. And I'm going to say it over and over again, especially at the end of December when we talk about resolutions and all that. How do you face 2022? What do you do in 2022? How do you live in 2022? How do you go through 2022? Post-COVID. Because I believe, based on looking into the future, that COVID is going to kind of become like a flu towards the end of 2022, towards after summer and the fall and stuff. COVID is going to eventually peter out because they would have achieved the goals that they wanted. And I say that very vaguely. So in 2022, you want to declare who you will be, who you want to be, what your future is going to be like, and then you want to have the structure in place that would achieve that. And that's what we're promising you, that we'll be able to walk you through the process, the how of redesigning your life. So you make a declaration to the world, and we'll help you draft that declaration, just like we're making a declaration now to say, in 2022, we're going to have a core group of people that we will redesign their life, recreate who they are, and reinvent those people into world beaters, into the 4 W's, right? Tomorrow I talk about the 4 W's: wealth, wellness, wisdom, and worthiness. And so part of our core group next year is to build out however many people come on board with us. Each one of them should achieve wealth, not only financial wealth, but life wealth, but also financial wealth. And we have big goals, and we are declaring it And that's what you should do as well. Declare, this is my 2022, despite COVID, despite the context of the world, despite what is going on, I'm going to form a community, because it takes a community, right? The individual can only do so much. It takes a community for us to say we're going to support each other and help each other, and we're going to contribute our brain power to your brain power, and exponentially 10x our results, our impact, how we walk this life. You must have a shoulder to lean on at some point, right? You must have community. You must have people. You will fall through the cracks. Breakdowns will happen. Upsets will happen. You need people in your life who would say, I'm here for you, even encouraging you, but also picking you up and carrying you because they believe in you. That's the 2022 we want. You who are listening to me right now, I wish all of you would come on board and be with us in this walk, in this journey in 2022. We're there for each other. We dream together. We develop together. We fall. We pick each other up. We have a breakdown. We work through it together as a community, right? And the goal of the community, that each individual in the community achieves their full potential, right? So in 2022, we have that goal. In 2022, we are declaring this is who we're going to be. We're going to expand this platform that we started in the last quarter of 2021, which was a deliberate business strategy to launch out on a digital platform. And during this whole process, boom, Zuckerberg announces the metaverse. And thousands of companies are starting to work on the metaverse. Today, there was an interesting piece of news. Somebody bought land in the metaverse. And you know how much they paid for it? $2.4 million. So real estate and land is all that is going into the metaverse. We don't understand it yet. I mean, I've been going through it so I get an idea what's going on, but the public doesn't understand it yet. Here's something else that happened with interesting news that people don't consider, but we are considering these things for 2022. Barbados became the first country in the world. Check this out. Barbados became the first country in the world to appoint an ambassador in the metaverse. They got into alliance with a company. I won't mention the company's name. You can Google it. And in partnership with that company, Barbados became the first country. They're going to create history. Became the first country in the world to have an ambassador in the metaverse. Now, ask me to explain that. Don't ask me, right? Because all these things are unfolding as we move forward. But by 2022, we're going to see a lot of traction in this. More countries are going to do that. Appoint ambassadors in the metaverse. Ambassadors are going to have meetings with each other in the metaverse. They're going to have World Economic Forum, United Nations. Nobody's going to show up in New York to meet again. They're going to meet in the metaverse. United Nations General Assembly would meet in the metaverse. COP 27 is going to be in the metaverse. So it's a different world. The world is changing. More importantly, the world is being reinvented. The world is being recreated. The world is being redesigned. And guess what? You have to do that. I have to do that. We gotta follow the trend. If the world is being redesigned and reinvented and recreated, the individual needs to, because the world is our context, needs to be reinvented, redesigned, and recreated. Recreated, redesigned, and reinvented. Now look at America. Biden's presidency, and we can say this for every president, but more than any president in America's modern history, President Biden, is reinventing, recreating, and redesigning America in a completely brand new image, a brand new country. $3.2 trillion he's pouring into social programs and pulling out all the old roads and the pipes from the ground and bridges and airports, all being remade in the infrastructure plan that they have. The world is moving in this trend of recreating, reinventing, and redesigning itself. So must we. So must we. And is anybody else doing this work on the global field? This is why I think I say this with full humility and thankfulness and gratitude, because by God's grace, not by my doing, but because we do the work behind the scenes, right? And we believe that the vision that we have is a divine kind of connection, right? We believe that. We're humble enough not to say it's ours thing. It's a bigger thing than us. But I really believe we will go big, because what the work we're setting out to do, nobody else in the world is doing it. Nobody has that vision. Nobody is seeing it the way we see it. And I'm not saying we're better than anybody else. That's not it at all. All I'm saying is we have a unique message that nobody else is seeing. And if this unique message is truth, and if it really aligns with how the world is moving, we will go big. There is no alternative to that, unless somebody else starts doing this work, right? Of redesigning, reinventing, and recreating individuals, like is happening with the entire global village. We got to reinvent ourselves. We got to recreate ourselves, and we got to redesign who we are, or we can't face the future. We would be left back, and we don't want a world where people are left back, right? No. Why would we want a world where people are left back? We want a world where people flow with what progress is going on. So today's talk show, the Qualified Life Talk Show, is kind of short. We had some issues to deal with before, which was instructive and interesting from a life coaching perspective. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you came on halfway or something, go from the start and watch it, and watch our previous videos as well. But tomorrow is Friday, and I guess we dealt with the 4 W's. I'm going to explain what the 4 W's is for those who haven't heard about it before tomorrow. But we dealt with it in a show before, but I think tomorrow we're going to deal with the 4 W's, because it's an important structure that we have within our programs, right? So anyway, have a good night, good evening, well, good night, I guess, and for my American people who might watch the video, happy Thanksgiving, and enjoy your evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.